Well, it's that time again. Outer Points Productions is about to go live with another Knockout Challenge match. Join me, Little Cheddar, and my guest live at the Varsity Club in Oshkosh, Wisconsin, as we will be delivering some of the best mediocre commentary in the business. Sit back, relax, and enjoy the match, and don't forget to jump in the chat and say hello. Please take the time to subscribe to our YouTube channel, hit that like button, and share it with all your friends. Thank you so much for tuning in. See you right after this word from our fabulous sponsors.
Dumper Dan's charter fishing fleet in the Port of Sheboygan is Wisconsin's proven charter fishing leader, running the most trips and catching the most fish. Enjoy great fishing for trout and salmon aboard one of our 6 fully equipped modern charter boats with experience and professional crews. See why Dumper Dan's is the most popular name in the industry. We offer fishing and lodging packages featuring the best in riverfront condos and hotel accommodations. Half or 3/4 day trips available, so call to make your reservations today or log on to dumperdan.com. Dumper Dan's charter fishing fleet, Wisconsin's proven charter fishing leader.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Outer Points Productions in the Knockout Challenge Series studios located inside of the Varsity Club in Oshkosh, Wisconsin. I am Little Cheddar. Thank you so very much for joining me today. He's not here at the moment. Well, he might not be here at all, actually. Part-timer Chris Green. Actually, he's running the tournament today here at the Varsity Club. So, thank you so much, everybody, for tuning into the last match of Round 1 in KO 1.6. Here's the significance of that. This is obviously after today's match, there is going to be a live redraw. We're going to have 32 players left after that, and then we're on to round 2. Started with 64 players. There's 10 bounties. Top 10 Fargos in the tournament have a $50 bounty on their head. These 2 players are not in the bounty category. So, but given the entry price and everything else, neither one of them wants to go home without a W today. So, I am going to head out to the table and go over the rules, which you are going to see for your very self. There you have it. I shall return. Don't go anywhere. Good Sunday afternoon, everyone. If you're tuning in from Wisconsin right now, you know that it's 10 after 1 on a Sunday afternoon. And it's too cold to be outside. So we're going to play some pool. Well, they're going to play pool. I'm going to do very little commentary on pool. I'm kidding. Good afternoon, Fred Renner. We're starting out with 9 ball. Race to 6. And that is going to be ball in hand for Pete Sorce right off the bat. Because, you couldn't see it. Attempted safe, ends up scratching in the upper right-hand corner. Cameraman is not coming in today. So, that's nothing new. What's going on, Patrick Carlson? Pete Beshta. Good afternoon. Diana Marks cheering on Pete. Peter Pumpkin Eater. I am not. I guarantee you, that is not something I would ever say to Pete. This is... This just became one of my all-time favorite YouTube screen names. All Felt Up 67. That's fantastic. So if you are just joining us for the very first time or you don't know who Pete Sorce is, he owns Sorce Martial Arts down in Milwaukee. And also one of my sponsors. Very grateful to have him. And we were talking he started off by making that pose, and then he backed off and like, I don't want to do that. I'm like, this is perfect, especially for the KO challenge. So I love it. Leaving it right there. Well, that ended up giving Pete a shot on the 5 ball. Unfortunately, the tangent line on the cue ball is going way away from the 6, so he may have to go completely around table to get back on that 6 ball. Not an easy shot with that 7 and 8 where they are. What's going on, Mike Niedermeyer? Lions and turtles. That actually is not a bad idea. But sometimes I have a hard time getting these guys to pose with their arms crossed, you know? It's like herding cats once in a while. I mean, everybody, for the most part, everybody. But that's really, I like that idea. Raymond Jacobs. Good afternoon. Well, it's good evening where you are. Long time no see. What's new and exciting in your world, sir? Great shot. That was a beauty. Very nice cut on the 6 ball. Left himself quite the challenging shot on the 7, though. Yeah. Yeah, I think he's going to get away with it, though. Yeah, that is not the worst leave. All right, good attempt at the cut on the 7, but unfortunately, very nice little drag shot all the way down the rail. See how nice and easy he hit that as well. I mean, that was, you couldn't hit that any better. Just let it pull itself down the rail. Pete Sorce off to a good start. Lions and Turtles, the more I think about that, the more I think I'm going to see if I can get the players to do that. I like that pose. And if we could get, maybe back up the lead fist a little bit, but it does look pretty cool. And I think it's going to, when I make the flyers, I honestly think that would look pretty cool. I could put their name on their knuckles, right on their fist. All right, that looks like a dry break by Mr. Garnett. What's going on, JR? To answer your question, JR, it all depends on how long the match takes, to be quite honest. There is another match at 5 o'clock, which is a semifinals of 1.5. So if there is enough time in between, then I am going to do the live redraw for round 2. And I think it'd be fitting anyway, being right after this match. There's actually 2 drawings today. There is the redraw for round 2, and then there is also the KO Masters series is full. Players are paid. We've got 32 players, so we're going to be doing the drawing for round 1 in the KO Masters. So all kinds of good stuff going on today. So Raymond, you brought I jumped the 8 ball. Did I make the shot? What was I doing? Did I jump in the 8-ball during a match, or did I miscue? Pete left himself a little bit steep on this 5-ball. Oops, my bad. Nice little rub off the 7. Looks like Pete is looking at back cutting this to a blind pocket, which I would actually play the other way. I would play it in the upper right and potentially make the 9-ball. Well, either way, that's a fabulous shot. It went in, so that's all that matters. And left himself with a perfect angle to leave himself with an angle to get from the 8 to the 9. Aha. Well, I greatly appreciate you saying that, Raymond. Thank you. There are 32 players in the KO Masters series that you're talking about. My game and everybody else's game is going. Oh boy, is going to get tested. I'm so looking forward to it. I haven't played in a big tournament in quite some time, so really looking forward to this Masters series. And Raymond, we ended up winning the whole thing. My partner Bobby Joe Durst and I, we won the entire Scotch doubles. So pretty excited about that. I got to make myself my own little pool table. Oh goodness. Oh boy. Mr. Garnett. Missing pretty easy. Pretty easy 9-ball. That is not going to sit well. That does not help with the confidence for the rest of the day. All right. Dry break by Pete. I don't know if he was lining himself up for the carom or the combo, but I believe Mike has left himself in. This is not an easy shot at all. Let's see if I can get in a little bit tighter here. I don't know if he could actually play the carom on this or not. I don't think so. Maybe a little, maybe a Masse carom. Ooh, boy, that's no easy. Oh, he does. Oh my gosh. Wow. Well, now it's a race to the 5-ball. Great shot. Great shot by Pete. That just made it a very quick rack instead of. I like that decision, even if he had missed it. I really like that decision because if you miss or you could pocket the 2, but maybe not get on the 3 right away. So, well done. Great break by Mike and pockets a ball. Ends up with a shot on the 1, but he's going to be jacked up. He is so tight on this 6 ball. I mean, this is just brutal. Tough shot. Goodness. There might be another opportunity for an early 9 here. Yeah, maybe not. I don't think so. Good shot. Looks like we're going to be doing some jumping. Good hit. Leaves it wide open for Mr. Garnett. You can see a piece of the 2 ball. Actually, I don't think this would be too bad if he can just thin the 2 and put it maybe behind the 8 and use the 5, 6, 8 as a blocker for the cue ball. Yeah, I like what he's looking at here. This looks like a good attempted safe. Yeah, just like that. Nicely done. Great shot by Mike. What a shot. What a great shot by Pete Sorce. Holy cow. Just gets up and drills it in. Nice back cut into a blind pocket. I think, honestly, this is probably the key shot of this rack. If he can pocket this 4 in the side, I think he gets out. Yep, catches the outer point. Well, made the 4, but ended up with a bank shot on the 5. It's honestly, it's not the worst. I think he's playing safe. I don't believe he's even going to attempt this bank shot. I think I would, because it's kind of a two-way. Great two-way shot, just for the fact, even though the fact that he missed it, where he left the cue ball, is going to be really tough for Pete, A, to pocket the 5, B, to get back down to the 6. This is a super thin cut if he plays it in the side. And if he plays it in the corner, he's not going to have a shot on the 6. Yeah, that was tough. Just a hair of follow, kind of a medium speed. Should run right into that 6 ball. Maybe play it a little bit thick into the corner. Should be able to break those 2 up. Yep. And ends up with a shot. Ooh, man, that was close. It's 9 ball. Great shot. Great shot. Leaves himself dead straight in for the 9 in the upper right. Well done. Center pocket. 2-1. Oops. Those look tight to everybody? Hey. Oh, yeah, absolutely. Sorry about that. No worries, no worries. Request on a quick bathroom break. So, let's go over what's coming up today, as a matter of fact. Live drawing sometime throughout the course of today. You know what? Actually, as long as you're looking at that. I mentioned it before, too. I can't wait until this one starts. It's going to be a good one. All right, this is what's happening this afternoon at 5 o'clock. This is the semifinals of 1.5. Started out with 24 players at 425 and under. We're down to the final 6, as a matter of fact. All right, that was quick. Like he said, quick bathroom break. To answer your question, Raymond, I leave it up to the players to, as long as they both agree on whether they want to use the wooden rack or the magic rack. If they disagree or they cannot come to an agreement on which one, it automatically goes to the wood rack. So I leave it up to the players to decide. That's one of those things, too, that if, say they start the match with the magic rack, and for whatever reason they whatever you start with, that's what you finish with. Same if you start with the wood rack, you can't go to magic rack. All right. Plays the 1, ends up safe behind the 3 and 8. And the 5 is a blocker to easily access the 1. Great hit. Good shot by Mike. Man, I'll tell you what, I am so glad. And this is one of the things that I've said time and time again, that I really believe all referees unless you live stream everything, all state tournaments, every referee should use a slow motion camera everybody has the technology right in their hands. That was such a close hit. Had I not videotaped that, it just barely, and you go back and watch it, it just barely hits the one first. That could have easily been called wrong with the naked eye. So I don't understand why. Again, every state tournament referee should have that. What's happening, Dan Vogel? I believe Pete is on foul number 2, and he is attempting a 3-foul. Mike is attempting to 3-foul Pete. I don't know if I would do that. I mean, it's not a difficult run. I would not be jumping this if I was Pete. I'd kick right between the 5 and the 9. Good hit anyway. Doesn't matter. This one I'd be jumping. Brent Schultz, that's not a bad idea either, actually. Good hit. Ooh, and pockets the 3 ball and ends up with a shot on the 1. Woo, man. Another thin cut by Mike Garnett, resulting in a ball left on the table for easy swing from Pete Sorce. In good shape on the 2 ball. I think getting from this 5 to the 8 is going to be a little tricky. I would just go straight follow. Come 2 rails and play the 8 in the side if you have to. Try to get straight on, play it all the way down in the upper left. But if worse comes to worse, oh boy. And he missed it pretty bad. Bringing Mike back to the table with not too bad of a cut on the 5 ball. That's a bad rub. I would almost I would actually consider playing this 8-9 bank. There's not a whole lot of places to duck and hide here. Yep, he does exactly that and ends up not the absolute worst. Wow, hit it great. Hit it fantastic. Well, you get to see it go in, or you get to see it rattle. That is so. If the way this match started out was Mike Garnett giving Pete a bunch of gifts, and Pete capitalizing them. Now it's kind of a role reversal here. Tommy Jeffers. Good afternoon. Happy Sunday to you as well. Yep, that wouldn't have been the worst idea either, Fred. Ride the 9, baby. All right, Mike Garnett electing to push out. Couldn't agree more, Raymond. It can be brutal. Slop, it can be so damaging and so beneficial, depending on. Oh, look at this. Look at this. He may have just left Mike with a carom on the 9 ball. Just graze the 1 and let that cue ball fly down there. I don't think I would try to pocket this 1 anywhere. Oh, he's playing safe. I would swing at this 9 ball. Yeah, this is not going to turn out well. This is going to end up giving Pete a swing at this 2-9 carom. Well, that ended up very interesting. Very fortunate little rub off the 2. He could have easily scratched there. Attempted safe. Nicely done. Nicely done. Good shot. Wow. Another great jump by Pete Sorce. Great hit. Try to hide the cue ball behind the 9, I think. Oh, my. He swung for the fences. And left Pete with a cut on the 2 ball and potentially a 3-9 combo. Yikes. Oop, hit it too thin. Got away from it, or got away with it, though. Directly behind that 8 ball. Kevin Berktala, good afternoon. Just a reminder, we have an action-packed day on Outer Points Productions. Hopefully, following this, we're going to have the live redraw for round 2. Let me actually show you what's all 10 bounties are still intact. So we've got 10 wanted posters for round 2. We'll get to that in a little bit. Hey, Roger. Great to see you, Roger. If this is your very first time here on Outer Points Productions, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button. That would be immensely appreciated. And then share the heck out of it with all your friends. Pete overcutting that 2-ball. Luckily not scratching down in the corner. All right, Pete leaving that wide open. Thin cut, jacked up over the 9-ball. Tough to get on this 3-ball for Mike Garnett. Not easy at all. Excuse me. Yeah, it's easy to overcut. Easy overcut or undercut. That's a tough shot. Well, it looks like, let's take a look at this from the bottom camera view. Pretty sure that 3 goes past the 9. Andy Coons, good afternoon. Great shot on the 3-ball, and unfortunately it catches a piece of the 7 on the way through. Otherwise, he would have had a nice shot on that 4 in the side or the corner. But now we're going to go vertical again. Gets over the top of it nicely. Double kisses. Smart shot. Very smart shot. Tucking that cue ball behind the 9. Got a little movement on that 9-ball. Good hit, and leaves leaves Mike with not enough to pocket the 4-ball. Check this. Whee. If he tries to cut this all the way down, I think it's a sellout shot. I would attempt a safe before trying to cut this. Yeah, that's good shot. Good speed. Good safety. Uh-oh. This is not going to be what Pete was looking for. Good opportunity for Mike to tie up this match at 3 apiece. Ooh! Just jumped up out of that shot. I mean, he had more body movement. Yikes. That is another gift for Pete Sorce. That was a big hurt. Should be 3-3 right now. Well, given that Pete is the one racking, let's talk about him for a little bit, shall we? For over 27 years now, Sorce Martial Arts has served Milwaukee with traditional Taekwondo, Anayan Eskrima, and Danzan Ryu Jiu-Jitsu. They focus on personal growth, offering safe, tailored training for all levels, enhancing life skills alongside self-defense. Join their community where martial arts empower everyone. Looks like Mike has stepped away from the table for a little bit. I think he went to refill his beverage. So, while we're doing that, we're waiting for the players to get back. I should say Mike to get back. if you've been wondering who is all playing in the KO Masters Series, I'm actually waiting on confirmation from one of those players yet, and that's it. And then we're going to be doing, well, either way, we're going to be doing the live drawing sometime today. Bear with me a little bit. I'm just playing. Trying to get my flyer to sit right on the tables. All right, getting closer. I think we're there. All right, players have returned. All right, I'll get rid of this in just a second, I promise. There we go. Fixed. Oop, my bad. Sorry. All right. Pete breaking in rack number 7, pocketing the 1 ball with a shot on the 2. We might see our first table run here. Very nice on the 3 ball. Nice little angle to get to the 4. I think the 4 to the 3 to the 4 right now is going to be the key shot to this rack. Maybe 6 to the 7 might be a challenge, but we'll see. No, Roger. I haven't been playing with that yet today, but I might. Good shot. Great shot by Mike Garnett. Getting right behind that 6 ball to play the 4. Now it's a matter of getting a really good... I think I would just slow roll this. And that'll kind of give him the good angle on that 5 ball. Yep, just like so. Well, this is the one I was talking about. So the 6 to the 7 is going to be where this determines the rest of this rack, I think. Yeah. All right, got a shot. Good draw shot. Pulled it right back around that 7. Nicely done. This has got to go. It's got to go. It's good. Oh, boy. This is not a fun angle. Is he banking this? Yeah. Yeah, he didn't have a lot of choice on that. That was not easy. So Pete has 2 options here. He can play. Well, let me give you the overhead again. He can play it in the upper left-hand corner and come 1 rail and out to play the 9 in the upper right, or cut it in the side and come 1 rail and all the way back down. I kind of like the. I think this is just personal preference. I think I would play it in the upper left, though. Yeah, couldn't have hit it any better. Good shot. Nicely done by Pete Sorce, and that puts him on the hill in set number 1. So if you are wondering what Roger was referring to about playing with my action figure, these hit the stores yesterday, and they're already half price. If you're interested, make sure you get one of those on the, from the gift shop on the way out today. That would be greatly appreciated. Comes with a shot of Fireball, the scratch and sniff. Smells like cheddar cheese, as a matter of fact. The high chair comes with 2 earplugs for the mediocre commentary, and microphone headset. Not a good time to scratch for Mike Garnett. Pretty much a stop shot. But the... Man, I would have left that where it was. That would have made it harder for the... shape on the 2-ball. I don't think, yeah. Raymond, did you want to place an order for one of those? Oh, boy. Whoopsie. Oh, nicely. Oh, and gets a shot on the 3 as well. What a beautiful kick. Nicely done by Mike. Sure. Sure thing, Raymond. Absolutely. Yeah, and to the Netherlands, it's only, I think, $186 in shipping. So, per piece. So, you want to send me Venmo, PayPal, however you want to work that out. It's fine. Well, that is another opportunity gone by from Mike Garnett. and leaving Pete Sorce with 4 balls to wrap up set number 1. 6 to the 8 is going to be the key. I think I would actually just put a little inside English on this and try to hold it there. I mean, you can go down and back, but it becomes dangerous then. Yeah, and this is what I was talking about. So now he's left with a nasty cut on this 9 ball. Did not want this to close out first set. Perfect. Sounds good, Raymond. Goes for the bank and pockets. Very nice. Nice way to end the first set. Totally up to you guys whether you want to take a break or jump right. All right, players are going to take a real quick break. We'll be right back. Don't go anywhere. Alrighty then. Players are back. So am I. Gotta go potty. All right, let's play some 8-ball. Race to 5. Pete Sorce breaking in rack number 1. All right, Pete dropping the cue ball on rack number 1 of 8-ball. See what Mike decides to take. I think I would actually play the 4-ball first and move that 8 away from where the 15 is. Take solids. Man. Both of these kind of suck. Could play the 15 and draw into the 4-8 and hope you come out with a shot to break it up. What would you do at home? That is a swing and a miss. That is not how Mike wanted to start out 8-ball. So Pete is probably going to play the... Wait a second. Did he hit a ball? Either way, he's got a pretty easy shot. Yeah, I didn't think so. Yeah, ball in hand. Looked away for a second. HBB. Good afternoon, sir. Mike Scholl says he can read the time on Pete's watch without zooming in. That's super. That was quite a while ago, too. What's going on, Mike? Mike's going to be sticking around for the redraw or tuning back in for the redraw later on. Again, if you are not aware, this is the last match of round number 1. Started out with 64 players, 10 bounties. Just had those up on the screen. All 10 bounties are still intact and moving on to round number 2. So we got a 32-player redraw this afternoon. And we'll start scheduling some more matches. Very nicely done by Pete Sorce. And that shot alone may end up winning him this game. Well, you're too kind, HBB. HBB, what stream is that on? I want to pull it up and check it out. Nicely done. Straight in on the 9 ball, and it's almost a stop shot. Maybe roll forward 1 ball to play the 12 and draw back for a shot on the 8. Iron City Billiards. Aha. I'm going to have to go check that out. Yep, rolled forward 1 ball. I'd prefer to pull it back maybe to the bottom of the circle on at least, I mean, you could pull it back to where he is now would be ideal. This isn't the worst. As long as he can avoid hitting the 2 ball and taking away the potential scratch in the lower right. Magic City Q Productions. All right, we'll check it out. That is rack number 1 for Pete. Checking it out, HBB. They got Lance Ireland and Thomas Haas playing right now. That's a good view. I don't have the sound on. Oh, they don't have any commentary. All right. Well, that makes sense. Then it doesn't pay to turn the volume on. Really good opportunity for Pete Sorce to really put a hurting on Mike already. This is a perfect angle on the 12. I would play 12, 15, 9, 8. Yeah, nicely done. Just float forward right between the 3 and the 8. Play the 9 in the bottom side pocket. Ooh, oh my. I would have not played it like that. Just made it really challenging. It was so much easier just to float forward. Now he's left himself. I've actually heard of both of those guys, HBB. Lance Ireland is quite the player. Oh my. Went for the bank and ended up super long on it. Exactly what Mike Garnett was hoping for. Got a lot of viewers, though, HBB. 276 viewers. Ding! Mark Bell in the house. Not at all. Not at all what Mike Garnett was hoping for. I'm not 100% positive. Let's, man. I don't think that 9 passes that 8 ball. We're about to find out. It's a good shot. That's well done by Pete. Great two-way shot. Ends up blocking the pocket. 3 and the 5 just became super difficult. It's going to be a safety battle now. Mark Bell, what's new and exciting in your world today? Looks like safety. Yeah, well done. Part-timer is running the tournament today, the Sunday tournament. Headed to Shields to buy a black powder rifle. Wow. Sounds like a very aggressive Sunday. That might be exactly what Mike needed to get out of the jam of this rack. Although, yeah, even if he plays the 3 and draws back for the 5, the 8's still going to be in a bad spot. I think I'd play safe again, call safe and pocket the 5, or just get it out of there. I would pocket the 5 in the upper right-hand corner and just stop it right there and call safe. Or play it in the lower left, just like he's doing, and call safe. Either way, I'm going to call safe. Actually, this is even better. Pocket the 3, give the 5 just a little bit of a nudge. Oh, he's going forward. He might miss a piece of the 5. But you got to give it a little bit of a nudge. Yeah. See, I don't like that. Oh, and he just put it even worse yet. Very difficult hit for... He may have moved the 5 out far enough, but the 8 is still in a bad spot. That is not at all what Pete wanted. Not to be Captain Obvious. Right, Mark? 5 all the way down, kick the 8 out. Beautiful. Beautiful shot. Very nicely done. Weird angle. So he's either got a power draw or maybe a smidge of inside English to come one rail and back out to the middle of the table. This could get This could get funky. This could get funky. That's exactly what I was. Oh my goodness. Ouch. And does not hit a rail and gives Pete ball in hand. Goodness me. Wait. All kinds of camera. What the heck is going on there? Major mistake by Mike Garnett. All tied up at 2-0. Pete Sorce. Ay caramba. I don't know if that looked tight to you. Yeah, that looks pretty good. Mm, 12 ball. And got to take solids here. Have to take some. Well, yeah, given where the 13 is, brutal. And the only tough one really for solids is the 7 ball. And if you can get on the short side of it, this is a very runnable rack for Pete. All right, here we go. If he can pull this cue ball over to get on that 7 ball. All right, never mind. Never mind. We're going to wait a little bit on that. He's got to do it now. Maybe a little draw right and spin it behind that 11 ball. Oh, just like that. Oop. Big bounce. And he's got to take it on. I mean, there's not much choice here. And even if he misses, Mike getting a shot on that 13 is impossible. He's going to have to bust it out of there. Nope. All right. Well, let's see what Mr. Garnett can pull out of his hat. Goodness. Mike is just not putting himself in good position at all today. A couple of cue balls that have just gotten away on him. Well, that leaves a stop shot on the 7 ball for Pete. Almost a stop shot on the 1 to get to the 2 to get to the 8. So that shot on the 15 may end up costing Mike Garnett another game. That's a well-struck 7 ball. Ooh. That almost didn't go in. Yep, that is definitely going to cost Mike another game. That's going to be 3-0 in favor of Pete Sorce in 8 ball. Yikes. All right. Ball down. I think the only shot that Mike has is the 7 ball, though. Ugly cut on the 1 in the side, but that's about it. He does not have a stripe to shoot at. And ideally, I think that's what I would want, given where that 12 ball is. This is quite the challenge to start off already. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Ends up with stripes, but now now if he doesn't run out though, it ended up benefiting Pete as well. Oh boy, this could get interesting again. Good shot. Well done. Now just float forward a little bit, and he can play the 13 in the side and the 8 in the lower left. I'd like to say kind of a routine out, but when you're down 3-0 and you have to win, nothing's routine anymore. Good shot. Good shot. This is I'm no commentator's curse, but if Mike can put down this 8-ball, this is by far the best rack he has played today. So see him get back in it. Oh goodness, no. Oh my goodness. Not at all what, obviously, what Mike was looking for. I hate to see that. Played such a good rack, too. Well, Pete decided to give it back, being a nice guy. I did not see that coming. Man, I'll tell you what, that was, just a golden opportunity for Pete to, you talk about putting the screws to your opponent. He makes that, gets on the hill. Mike has to win the next 5 in a row just to stay in the match. That is a huge miss by Pete. Mike Schultz, what's the time on his watch? Yeah, we missed it. This is an ugly rack. 14-1 are tied up. 15-9 are tied up. The 5 is in a bad spot for solids. 8 is in a bad spot for stripes. Yeah, this is tough. This is a brutal rack. Great attempt by Mike, and just catches a piece of the 14. Obviously, the whole idea was to get that away from that one ball. There we go. That's what he was looking for. Now he's got to find something to do with that 5 ball. Or the 8, one of the two. I like this shot. Playing the 14 in the side, and if he can run into that 5 ball. Oh, if that clears the 3. Uh-oh. Yikes. So now, he's going to have to play. He's going to have to play either. Yeah, just thin the hell out of the 10 ball with a ton of right-hand spin. Come down and hopefully kick those two apart. Otherwise, this is Pete's advantage again. Nicely done. Great shot. Great shot. Well, he's pretty much opened everything up now. If he can get from that 12 without touching the 5, get to the middle of the table. Anywhere in the middle of the table is fabulous. So then he can obviously pocket the 13 and decide on what he can do with the 8 ball. Don't want to be on the rail. Oh, boy. I would be willing to bet he is going to have to bank this 8 ball. If he can pocket the 13 in the upper left, I don't think he's got much of a choice. I mean, if he runs into the 2, he might be able to cut it in the side, but it's looking like a bank shot in the opposite side. Just pocketing the 13 isn't easy. Be a totally different game if he was in the middle of the table. Nice. Able to hold it. Here we go. Can he pocket? to make it 3-2. All tied up, Mark Bell. Nicely done. Perfect speed. Great out. That's a good recovery from the last game. All tied up, Mark Bell. Big break by Mike. And solids look fabulous. Eight ball might be a little tricky, but I think manageable. Actually, he could play the 5 in the side right now and kick that 8 ball out just a little bit, and the rest of that rack is very simple then. I would actually leave this 2 here. I would play the 5 and draw into the 8. There's so many balls that you can shoot at after the fact. Yeah, opens it up. Plays it off nicely. Now it's almost just float forward a real little bit. He doesn't even have to do that. A stop shot for the 9, or the 2 on the side. And this is just connect the dots. Mike has found a game in 8 ball. Playing really well. Maybe just a smidge of low left-hand spin on the 7. Not much. Just kind of finesse it in there. Just like beautiful. Now we can float forward. Obviously, you got to just avoid that 13 at all costs. This might be a 2-pack from Mike Garnett to tie things up. Nicely done. Held that really well. Just a little punch. Maybe a smidge of left-hand spin. Not much. Yeah. Just like so. That is just fine. To make it 3-3. We've got an 8-ball match. Race to 2. And this looks like a dry break by Pete Sorce. Uh-oh. This is ideal if I think I would actually leave that 5-6 down here. So a stop shot on the 4, 7-3, and you got to leave that 2 right where it is because the 2 gets you on the 8-ball. Yeah, I don't know if this is if he can punch out and get the 5 next. There's nothing wrong with it, but, oh boy. Never mind. All right, Pete with an opportunity to get on the hill again. And I think he has to play that 9 first. I mean, he could play the 11. 11, run into the 15, play the 10. 10, 12, 9. Got to get that 9 out of there pretty quick, though. Yeah, I don't mind this being the first shot at all. But I would try to get on that either straight in on the 14, run into the 2. Just like that. Drift forward, he's got the 11, 10, 12, clear all that. Leave the 13 as the target ball to get on the 8. That would be my choice. This is a big game for both guys. Obviously, getting on the hill in 8-ball. If obviously Pete can win the next 2, then the match is over. But if Mike can pull these 2 out, he's got all kinds of momentum going into 10-ball. But let's not get ahead of ourselves. Good angle on this 12-ball. So now he could play this either way. Stop shot on the 13 or play the 15 to get to the 13. It's kind of a horse apiece, whatever you're most comfortable with. Given the angle that he has on the 13, I think I would just play a stop shot because the 8 does go in either the top right or bottom right pocket. So that does make it a little bit more accessible. You don't want to be on the top of it. No, he's good. 15 and the 8 in the same pocket. Float that 15 in. This is a big 8-ball. Dead center. Nicely done. Pete's on the hill first. We're seeing some really good pool in 8-ball. These guys have loosened up a little. Two ball down, 10 ball down, 9 ball down. And I believe stripes, stripes are probably the way to go here. And the 8 does pass the 1. Yeah, I don't think this is too bad. He's going to have to, he can play the 14-13 combo, but getting on that combo is not easy. Or break it up, one of the two. Nicely done. Very nicely done. Now it's a matter of getting on that 3 ball. He could actually play the 6, and I don't think he can hold for the 13, but he's kind of eyeing it up. Maybe he might be able to play it off the 15. Because it doesn't go in straight, or you could run into it and play it in the upper right. Nicely done. So now it's going to be a matter of getting on the 4 ball, which he should be able to do right now. 1. Just float forward. Not easy. And at this point, honestly, I think he has to have it. I don't know if, there is a potential safe on the 4 if he doesn't get there, but it might end up, great shot. Well done. We might have a one-game playoff shootout. I'm not sure. One game to see who gets if we play 10 ball or not. Hit it really good. I'll tell you what. This has just become a really good pool match. Mike is playing phenomenal at the moment. Actually, both players. 534 Fargo, and the last 4 games have been a run. Oh my gosh. Excuse me. Sorry. Commentator's curse. This is an opportunity for Pete to put it away. That may end up being a fatal miss for Mike Garnett. Yikes. This is it right here. This combination is going to determine a lot. Don't want to slam it. You slam it, and that 13 may sit right in the pocket. Yep, nicely done. That might just. And he does have a little bit of an angle. That was a well played. Yeah, this is not looking good for Mike Garnett. Ah, what a horrible way to end. Well, it's not over with yet, but. Almost ends up scratching. All right, this 8-ball for Pete Sorce to move on to round 2, and does. Yikes. Ah, you hate to see it end that way. All right, folks, I am going to head out by the players, and I'm going to get set up for the next match, and maybe a live drawing, or a live redraw, I should say. I'll be back. All right, thanks for tuning in, everybody. We'll do it all again in just a little while.